Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Another great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Of course, I'm your host, Millie Mills. We got a great show for you tonight. He is, of course, a singer, songwriter, and a consummated storyteller. Let's give it up for LA's Philip Brandon. Woohoo, man.
Hey,
Hey, how are
what's going
you?
on? I'm doing all right. I'm hanging on in there. I'm in LA, so we're hanging in as best we can, but we're doing good. My family is safe and we're doing well, but there's a lot happening. But I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, and thanks for coming. In the midst of all this, so many people would have said, "Hey, look, I gotta be where I can't stand all this. I can't talk." But you still hung in there, and you decided to just come and spend 30 minutes with us, and we thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome, guys. Let's give it up again for Philip Brandon. Woohoo! They are doing well in LA. This is so good, man. I'm still honored. I'm so honored that you're here. So
Oh,
let's kick off the show saying about your hometown. Of course, we kind of talked about that, but your hometown, your alma mater. Let's give us the spill.
yeah. So yeah, I'm actually born and raised in Inglewood, California, which is a smaller town in within LA, Los Angeles County.
Mhm.
And so, like I say, I'm a native to this area. Born and raised here. I went to from kindergarten to high school, and then once I finished high school, I ended up transferring out to Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and got my degree there. And I mean, it's been a awesome journey up till now, just being from this cool town. And a little fun fact I always like to tell people, because a lot of folks are like, "Oh man, you grew up in Hollywood," and I'm like, "No, I didn't," because you have two distinctly different things going on in LA. You got the locals, and then you got the industry, and they don't always necessarily correlate. So I tell people I didn't see much of Hollywood until I became an adult, because I didn't live in Hollywood. I lived in England. So
Exactly.
mm.
Yeah, to get that straight. Let's get that
Yeah,
straight.
let them know. Let them know.
Yeah, because just because you're out in California don't mean that you're in Hollywood. I get it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's such a big place and so many we talked about that, so many different sub cities and all of that. So
yeah. Yeah,
hmm
it's just that geographically, even it's just that and I mean, you're in Texas, so you get it. When there's a lot of
hmm
space, but like I was saying earlier, it's like there's a lot of space in LA, but it's continuously populated. So you can drive for 2 hours and just be in a city or town the entire time. You just see population the whole way. So it's a big, expansive city. But I mean, that's part of the charm that makes LA so cool too.
exactly. And then you said you attended Morehouse. How did that happen? How did you get from LA to the ATL?
Yeah, so so right after high school, I graduated high school. I went to Venice High School here in Los Angeles, which is a
Hmm
fun fact about them. It's where they filmed the movie Grease, the original movie Grease. That's where
Really?
yeah, all of their scenes were done there. So that was one of our claim to fame going when I was younger. But I went to Santa Monica College, community college, because I wasn't sure what I
hmm
wanted to do, where I wanted to go. And so I did that for 2 years. And then once I started applying to the 4-year universities, Morehouse was actually the only school I applied to out of state. And I applied to them because I went to one of the HBCU tours that they were doing at the convention centers to kind of, showcase all the different, historical Black colleges and universities. And,
hmm
I got a chance to speak with some of the representatives there, and they were like, you should come out and come tour the campus and all that kind of stuff. So I did, and I just, I fell in love with it, and I said, hey, let me just at least apply. And then I got accepted, and I said, I'm going to Atlanta. So it was
Going to
cool.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of those historical, Black universities, historical, HBCUs. I mean, what was it
Hey,
like?
yeah.
Yeah, what was it like attending Morehouse?
It felt I mean there's so many things I could say. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life,
Ever
because some of
made.
the closest, like the brotherhood that I got from there, some of the folks that I deem as family to this day came from that, from going to Morehouse. And I mean, we had some really cool alumni, like Martin Luther
Mhm.
King, Spike Lee,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
like just
Yes.
folk. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about Sam Jackson, so, so it's
Mhm.
like all kinds of folks went there. And so you felt kind of like the history and the legacy behind it being there. They
Mhm.
instilled that in us so much, and so it was just one of the best experiences of my life, actually.
Ever, yeah.
Mhm.
Gave you that family. You kind of felt that family connection.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Did you pledge a fraternity while you attended there?
I didn't, and it's funny because I wasn't that familiar with the fraternities prior to going,
Hmm.
and so once I got there, I definitely got the crash course. I was like, oh, this is how it goes. But I
Uh-huh.
was a I was a transfer student, so I said I wanted to kind of be laser focused on making sure I got in and finished in the two years. It's supposed to be 2 years, it ended up being three, but I still wanted to make sure I got in and got in finished. And so I was really focused on what I was doing there.
Oh, congratulations. And what did you get your degree in, your area of study?
Marketing.
Marketing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I
you are.
laughed because it was funny because, I got a degree in marketing, but I also sang in the Glee Club, which is the official singing organization of the school, and sang in their quartet, and they afforded me a scholarship, a partial scholarship to sing with them. So even though my degree's in business, I also got a partial scholarship to actually sing, which is what kind of got the juices going for the career that I have now. So it's
Yeah.
like, there's always a starting point and there's always something that kind of sparks that. And I think that's what kind of that's what kind of got that ball rolling.
Yeah. And that was going to be my next question. Of course, how did
Yeah.
your whole music career begin? And you just told me. So you got a chance to be. Did I hear you right? You say you sang in Glee,
In Glee
Glee,
Club.
Glee
Yeah,
Club.
like
Oh
like the
wow.
Glee Club. Yeah. And so,
Okay.
and a lot of schools, have, different variations of a Glee Club or what have you, but the Glee Club was the actual official singing organization, the singing ambassadors of the school. So I mean, when I was singing and touring with them, we would go to the Bahamas and sing for, dignitaries there. We would go to DC. We would go to you just all, do a tour uh through because of the scholarship. It would part of the requirement of the scholarship was to tour with them in the spring and sing. And so that's what kind of got my the thoughts around, like, oh man, this is cool. People actually kind of will bring you to a city to do your art and do that. And so it was a really cool experience,
A cool
as far as that's
experience. I can tell. It really, yeah, I can tell it
concerned.
was really exciting. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
And it led you to your singing career. You're a songwriter,
Hmm.
producer, and a storyteller, consummated
Yeah.
story. Tell us a little bit how you got that title. How did you come about earning that
So
title?
storytelling is something that I think it's something that I've always done, but I never really had language to what it was. I observe life. I like kind of just like being a fly on the wall and
Me
observing
too.
sometimes and saying,
I'm
you know what I
very
mean?
observant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, that's how that connect. And I like to see how things connect. And then after I
Mhm.
kind of take it in myself, I love to tell it back, like, oh, this is how this works, or this is how that went. This is how this trip was. And so I didn't really know that was storytelling, but I would be talking to friends of mine, and they're just like, "Wow, you're just so you're so captivating when we're just talking." And I'm like, I thought they were trying to be funny. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
I'm literally just telling you what happened. They're like, but I was just so enraptured by what I was so wrapped up in what you're saying. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing. So you
Mhm.
fast forward that into, so I'll kind of parlay that into how I even got into the industry to begin with. So after I graduated Morehouse, I got a job, or I got an internship in the marketing department at this firm in Atlanta. And they offered me a full-time position. I wasn't ready to be quite settled. And I was like, I don't know if I want to stay in Atlanta or if I want to go back home. So I ended up going back home. And a friend of mine who I used to sing with in an a cappella group said, "Hey, I'm booking singers to go on these cruise ships. If you're interested, I would love to have you, come out for a bit and sing." So I ended up going out and singing on cruise ships, in a doo-wop group for about a year.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Got a chance to see the world, right? And so, going back to the storytelling component of that, and I'm calling back home and I'm talking to friends of mine and telling them about all these things that I've been experiencing and having such a ball. And then they're just like, that's how they started to say, like, wow, like just you make it sound so incredible. And I was like, well, it actually is incredible, but they're like, you make me sound like I'm already there. Like I don't even need to go. Like you're telling me something that I feel like I'm right there with you. And
They
so,
live they live the experience through you, so to speak.
correct. Yeah, yeah. And so
Mhm.
that was a cool thing. So I was like, okay, and then after I did the cruise ship thing, I got a chance to do the work at Disney in Hong Kong doing the Lion King show, playing the role of
I
Scar.
saw that.
Yeah.
Oh
Isn't
my
that cool?
gosh.
And so
Yes.
doing that was cool because that gave me my first crack at acting, right? Because I had never really
Yes.
done a role. Like I was just singing before then. And so I said, oh, okay. There was a couple scenes where I had some lines to do. And I'm like, oh, I guess I can do that. So that was another component that I kind of pieced together like, oh, this is another part of storytelling. This is a
Mhm.
actual story, right? And
Yes.
so that clip is what led to other things, but it was those kinds of things. And then obviously, I got a chance to been with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra as their storyteller.
Taylor, I know.
Yeah. So it's just like, I think this is what I do. This has to
This
be
is what
part of
you
the title.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, they say you're a narrator. I read
Yeah.
that narrator for the
Hmm.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That is
Yeah.
amazing. You guys were in Austin back in early December during the holiday
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I think we were there. I think it was on the 4th of December or something. I was looking back at the calendar. Yeah, I was like, wow,
Mhm.
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I
Um,
had known. I've got to keep up with the events a little bit more when they're coming through, sweeping through
yeah.
Austin. We got a lot of people chiming in. Thank you, Robert Claiborne in Arkansas. He says, good show so far. He's enjoying it.
Oh,
Ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
awesome.
this is the fascinating Philip Brandon in LA joining us tonight, talking about his wonderful, successful career, singer, songwriter, storyteller, and so much more. He's gotten into acting and you were in some commercials I read. You were alongside comedian Kevin Hart and
Yeah.
actress Jane Seymour. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Please
Yeah.
share what that was
Okay,
about.
so the Kevin Hart experience was just it was such a cool experience because this was right after this came on the heels of the pandemic. So they just opened the industry. Well, they were reopening the industry, and
Mhm.
so I got the audition, and then I ended up booking it, and then they had something where it was taking a while, and then they were doing some recasts and everything. And so the cool little tidbit about that I think this is the first time I'm probably actually saying it. Once I actually finished the actual commercial shoot, one of the producers came over to me and was like, "Hey, yeah, we just wanted to let you know you did such an awesome job. You were the only actor from the original casting that we kept. We had to recast everybody else that was around it." And I was like, "Oh, that was really cool." So I got a chance to work side by side with Kevin Hart, which was really cool. He was, I mean, that dude, he's not only is he hilarious, he's just a consummate professional and is
Mhm.
super busy. That
So,
guy, I mean, he does not waste a second of the day
mhm.
meetings and all these kinds of different things. And I just learned so much about work ethic from him. So it was awesome
Yes.
working with him. Yeah.
I know that was a great experience for you. I'm like, wow, he worked alongside of Kevin, and to see him in
Yeah.
action, I would love to see that, witness that for myself. And besides all of that, did you have going on? You recently released a single. Am I
Mhm.
correct? Right
Yes. Yeah.
before the holidays, I'm like, this man don't let up. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I'm
so I
like,
did. It was a five. We released a couple singles last year, but on October 25th we released a 5-song EP, and so it was
right.
really cool. It was called Deja Vu, and I mean I hadn't
Mhm.
released a studio project in a few years, and it just felt like
Yeah.
the right time, and
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we released it, and it's out there doing its thing, and I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, and well, I'm gonna let you introduce one of your singles, the one I was telling you about earlier that kind of
Yeah,
has that funk,
the
blues,
funk to
jazz
it.
feel. What is it
Yeah.
called,
So
Philip?
this one is called "Can't Get My Cue from You," and it was co-written by myself and the legendary songwriter Preston Glass, who also produced it.
All right, guys, let's give it up for Philip. Woo!
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm right again in that I'm not right again. I'll let go. Uncertainty is how I flow. But I will keep on trying. I'll keep fighting. Keep loving on me. Even without the answers to the questions all the time. Can't get my cue from you. No, no, no. Can't get my cue from you. 'Cause I'm living for the best in me. Grateful for the destiny. Honoring the rest of me. Can't get my cue from you. I'm wise as well. Being unwise is what I tell. Undoubtedly, wavering guarantee. But I will keep on trying. I'll keep fighting. Keep loving on me. With or without the answers to the questions all the time. Can't get my cue from you. No, no, no. Can't get my cue from you. 'Cause I'm living for the best of me. Come on. Grateful for the destiny. Honoring the rest of me. Can't get my cue from you. Can't get my cue. Can't get my cue from you. Can't get my cue. Can't get my cue from you. Can't get my cue. Can't get my cue from you. Can't get my can't.
Hey, that was great, man.
That's cool.
Philip, man, your vocals, I noticed your vocals are so smooth. They're effortless,
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
You don't have to put a lot of pressure. It just seems like it just
I
come.
appreciate that. It's cool. It's cool. I feel like on this particular project, and even on that song, the whole thing behind writing that song was like, I have this deep voice, right? And I have this, a lot of times, especially, uh, growing up, that the higher voices are always celebrated, and so you always try to figure out where you fit in. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, no, this is my sound right here. So I feel like I'm getting into where my actual, where I sit. And so that was kind of the whole thing behind the song is I can't get my cue from you because I'm living for the best of me. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a cool thing there. But thank you for that. That's an awesome compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. We had with some viewers that were watching Deja Falls in Austin. Thank you so much for
Oh,
watching. And she said smooth and funky. So yeah.
hey, thank you, Deja. That's awesome.
Yes. So boy, you've been busy and you got your acting, your narrating. I mean, with all
Mhm.
that going on, Brandon, how do you have some time for I keep calling you Brandon. Philip, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
How do
funny
you
part, the sidebar, close friends of mine do make
they
that
call you
same mistake. They call
they
me
call you
Brandon. They
Brandon?
introduce me as Brandon. They're like, "Hey, this is my best friend Brandon." I'm like, "Hey, Philip, nice to meet you." So everybody does. It's all good.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Look,
That's
look, at least somebody's calling.
Gosh. But what I was going to say, Philip, is that, with all that going on, how do you have time for Philip? How do you
Yeah, I
juggle
mean,
all?
the funniest part is I just, as I get older and stuff, I just realize, prioritizing time for like self-care, prioritizing boundaries and saying, hey, right now I need to, like one of the biggest things I've been on recently has been like working out and making sure that I have like, time to like for myself to work out and be able to go to the gym or go on a hike or something to just kind of do
Yes.
that. And really just the biggest thing is always finding the joy in
The
everything that I
joy.
do, because if I find the joy in everything that I'm doing, then that's my time right there,
That's
because I'm just
fun.
getting a chance to enjoy it.
I
So it's
love
been
that.
really cool.
Finding the joy in everything you do. That's rich.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
like
thank
that.
you.
So, so you've been touring a lot. What's next for you? If you can
Yeah,
share
so
that.
I mean, literally just got off the road. Like,
Mhm.
got back on the first, got
Yeah.
back on New Year's Day. And
Yeah.
and it's cool because I had been pretty much I hadn't spent more than a week at home at a time since like July. So it was really cool to get some time to kind of recalibrate. And we're gonna be releasing new music again this upcoming year and doing some new dates and some new shows. And I mean, just we just got all kinds of cool stuff that's coming up that I'm really excited about. I can't wait to see how 2025 shapes up as far as career. We see where it's going and
Yeah.
other places. But as far as on the career point, I'm excited about it. I'm super excited.
As you should. This is a new year and you're already off to a great start. Want to say shout out to your publicist. She keeps you busy, right?
Oh man, thank you so much, Desiree L. Benson. She has just been getting me out there, and I appreciate her so much.
Yeah, I've been working with her now for just about 2 years. When it comes to
Oh,
booking, and she,
yeah,
she always brings some of the best artists my way. So I'm just very grateful, that to be partnering with her in that way. So wanted to give her shout out. And God,
yeah.
time is going so fast, Philip.
I
It's
mean, it's
almost
flying by. I'm like, what the heck happened? We just started.
yeah, 30 minutes goes fast when you're having fun, though. But I wanted to put the picture up there so everybody can see you and your publicist. She's so gorgeous.
Yeah. Yes, she
Yeah.
is.
All
Desiree.
right.
Yeah, she
Great.
does the
Shout out.
thing. And I'm so grateful
She
for her.
does. All right. All right. And so I want to congratulate you too on so many great things. Your other single, I believe, is called Come On. And that was on the Billboard charts for 12 consecutive weeks, correct?
That was my first single from my second studio project, which was entitled "The Story Begins," and we that was the first single from that, and we got on the charts for 12 consecutive weeks in the top 20 on the top
Top
20. Not yeah, so it was something I was very proud of, and thank you. And it was one of my pop's favorite tunes. It was such a cool experience, and it has like a nice little throwback feel to it. So
It
I'm
does.
excited about this too.
We're gonna take a listen to that too before we get out of here. We're gonna share a
Oh,
little
cool.
bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because
Awesome.
they need to know that that was one of the singles that kind of like really boosted your career. Would you say that?
Oh, 1000%. After that hit the charts, I got a chance to open for groups like the Manhattan Transfer. I got a chance
Wow.
to play on shows with like of course names are escaping me, but it's just opened up so
Mhm.
many really really cool opportunities for me. So
Yeah, a lot of great doors started to open.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is so cool. And then I was looking too. It was something else that I mentioned. Yeah, I was just going to ask, but it didn't seem that way with you.
Uh,
It seemed like your career takeoff was just really a smooth transition. Did you like encounter any like challenges when you were trying to get off the
oh,
ground?
oh,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I think
how did you overcome those?
Sorry, I'm laughing because I was just having this conversation the other day. I'm like, one of the things that I kind of learned to do, and I think part of it is with me having a background in business and understanding that things are, their show business, you got to put the emphasis on business part, right? Because they're entertainment business. So once I figured out that, oh, this is I understand that side of things. It's a numbers game. You got to get out here, you got to do your thing, but there's very few businesses that you go into where you hear no 95 to 99% of the time, and you hear yes 1 to 5% of the time. So I tried to really do the work to train my brain to only pivot on the yes. So I'm only going to get excited and pivot on the yes, because you're given opportunity to do, we're given so much time to make decisions and put energy where we want them in life, right? So I can put all this energy into, I didn't get that, blah, 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 blah. Or I can just hang on to that energy and really focus on this yes that I get over here and then run with that. So I just try to run with the yeses. And that's what keeps my joy up.
Keeps your joy. And that's how you end up gracing this magazine. I ran across this picture right here. Yeah. So that happened in July last year.
That happened just in July, and it was my first cover feature on a magazine, and I was just like, I was blown away. Like I was like, man, this is cool. They just, it's funny how you hear about stuff like that, but when you actually see it, and then I got the physical magazine, and I was like holding it, I'm like, man, this is really, really cool. And she did such a really, really wonderful, beautiful article on me, and I was so grateful of her. For Gina, and that was, of course, Desiree, my publicist, got all of that connected and everything. So I was just grateful.
That is so good. Congratulations on all your success, man. You've been doing your thing. Before we get out of here, you got any shout outs or anyone you want to, just give thanks to?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting this journey and being on the ride with me. I want to say a special thank you to my family, to my beautiful mother, to everybody who really has just got my back and it's just wanting nothing but the best for me. I'm so grateful to everybody.
Amen. Any last words of encouragement before we get out?
Know your why and find your joy.
Ooh. Say that again.
Know your why and find your joy.
I love it. I love it. I love it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Philip Brandon. And we're going to close out of here with his single, Come On. This is the single that really skyrocketed his career, gave him 12 consecutive weeks on the Billboard charts, guys. Let's give it up for Philip Brandon.
Check 1, 2, 2, 2. Checking one for me. A lot of juice, as much as you can give me up here. Check. That sounds good to start with. Nice.
Something to tell you, but I haven't got the tact to care. Lonely is the way I feel about it when I decide I don't wanna share. How do I make you see beneath the surface is a bed of lies? When will you come with me? Assuming we know nothing makes us wise. Come on, together, no matter the weather, will make us all better if we do it. Come on, together, no matter the weather, will make us all better if we do it. Regrets are excuses made of candy, making failure taste so good and sweet. Never will I just sit and watch a film about a world that beats you down and then puts it on repeat. How do I help you, please? Pull back the blanket and unveil the disguise. Right this way, come with me. After we do better comes the surprise. Come on, together, no matter the weather,
That came out cool. I'm wondering, it looks like we're still live. I can't see anything else here though. If we do it. Well, if anybody can still hear, I can't tell if anybody is still here or not, but thank you so much for the opportunity of being here. I had such a great time. And follow me at either at Philip Brandon 2 that's up on the screen or philipbrandon.com. And I'll see you sooner than later. Thank you so much for this opportunity.